Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about treks and trails in a new millennium, and fingers crossed I'm going to be pretty good with the tools and apps in front of me today. I also have Nazli here from Google, so he's going to demonstrate the Google Tracker to us, which is one of the tools. So we're going to sort of mix this up a little bit. So my background, as I mentioned earlier, is I spent 12 years with the Department of Parks and Wildlife in Western Australia, 6 of which was managing Yanchep National Park, and that's a semi-urban park on the outskirts of Perth. It's 50 kilometres drive, and for a lot of people it was a one-stop shop where they could experience culture and wildlife in the park. So they could see koalas, kangaroos, they could participate in cave tours, Aboriginal cultural tours, and as part of my job description it was to promote Western Australia and the park as an iconic tourist destination. It was also to make sure that we kept up to date with new trends, that we provided unique experiences for our visitors. So we had the Cabaret Cave there where people could have functions in the cave, and created a trail trails. So we had an Every Trail app where people could walk around the park, around the wetlands, and it would interpret the environment for them. So how did I end up here? That was a good question. In 2013, late 2013, I was invited up to Mooloo to have a look at the position of park manager and whether I thought I could work in that area. And I must admit, from the day I arrived in Mooloo, I couldn't think of anywhere else I would prefer to be than to be working with the people and the environment that surrounded me there. So for the next 2 years, I was manager at Gunung Mooloo National Park. It was a prestigious honour, and Mooloo is quite unique in as much as the management structure there. My role was working for a corporation, Borsa Mooloo Park Management, and we were the managing agents for the tourist zone, whereas Sarawak Forestry Corporation managed the wilderness zone. So we looked after the infrastructure, the facilities, lighting, boardwalks, the visitor services, tour guides, interpretations, and was very much part of the visitor satisfaction. So leaving Mooloo was a very hard choice, but it was the beginning of the next venture for me, which is Borneo Ethical Adventures. It's a tour company that I've started, bringing tour groups into Malaysia, particularly Sarawak next year, with a very grassroots travel and looking at voluntourism, tourists that want to volunteer as they go. And it's very much where my heart is, where a lot of tourists' interest is, which is, as we talked about, grassroots travel, experiencing the culture and really getting in touch with the people and hearing their stories and contributing as they travel. And I'm pleased to say that Larry is my ground handler, so we're working with Miri Trails and trekking parts of Sarawak. So just looking at what's going on in this world. So as a park manager, I know what it's like. There is so many things happening before you that it's very hard to keep up with technology. It's certainly not our forte in the areas we're working in. We've got 87% of adults are using the internet. 67% of adults own a smartphone. 40% of world population has internet access today. Now, how am I going to drive this again? Sorry, I work on a Mac normally, so back. I just want to get into that one there.
Yeah, okay. So let's open that up. So we don't go.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're doing this one, right?
Yeah.
It worked earlier.
So you have to go into the slideshow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just go that and that. Yeah.
I'll just stand
IT tech here. You can stand here. Excellent. So this is just a website that's going to show us some of the live stats that are happening out there at the moment. So we have over 3.5 billion internet users. This is live what's going on, and hopefully I can scroll down a bit. So to do that, you just tell me how to do it. Okay, so you can see this is the people posting blogs. There's Google searches, there's over nearly 2.5 billion Google searches today. This is just what's happening. This is what's going on out there. We've got Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, tweets. Can we keep up with that? I don't know. Okay, now we want to get out of that.
Let's get out of it. Let's go back here. Okay, so we're
Back to the presentation. So yeah, look, I don't think that any of this is going to
okay, just keep talking.
replace you as a guide, but it's a tool that can assist and it can bring people to your park. So if we have a look at this far out,
Do you want to go that way?
I want to go back.
Go back, yeah? Okay, go back.
Go back.
Yeah. So you want this one, right?
Yeah. So we're going to have a look at this. This is one of the, this is a bit like what we have here today from Orpheus. This one. We're going to have a look at how you can interpret some of the culture into your presentation. Now I want to scroll up to about
take this outside.
there. So this guy is a tourist who's taking the trouble to get some volume up on that
Okay.
after the ad.
Okay.
Oh, we lost it.
No, it's a mic on. Okay, just.
We're not winning, are we? So this guy has gone to the trouble. He's just a tourist who's out there doing his travel. Eric the fanatic nomad. He's taken one of these and he's got it mic'd up. Oh, is that organized? So this is one of the best presentations tour apps that I've come across where they've interpreted a really difficult situation of the prison in Alcatraz in San Francisco. We're not going to hear him, are we?
Do you know, is it playing from here?
I can't hear it
supposed
playing at all.
Yeah.
There's a volume.
Okay.
Ah.
Never mind. Just carry on.
Anyway,
We'll look at it later.
what they've done is they've recorded the sounds of keys from the prison guards. They've got the original prison guards talking, some of the inmates in the cells talking. And basically, as you travel through this centre, this prison, you're really just looking through the bars into small blocks with toilets. There's really nothing too exciting there. But to hear this presentation, if we could hear it, unmute, not going to work. It's very powerful. And to translate that to national parks, which I'd love to do, is to look at the sounds that you can use in your interpretations to record. The sounds of the jungle, the sounds of people playing the instruments, to record the old people while we still can before they pass, and to record difficult situations, difficult stories that you're having trouble sharing, or specific information that you don't want to lose. So we'll get out of that.
It's not working, so we'll just let me put that back in. Okay, go back into your presentation.
Okay. Sorry. So keeping up with technology, let's have a look at some of the tools that can help us promote our parks and encourage greater appreciation and understanding from our visitors. So we're going to look at the audio guides, like what we were looking at just before. I've got a couple of these here today. These ones are from Orpheus. We also have some transmitters that we can trial from them. They're really useful, say if you've got large groups, particularly of perhaps Chinese that are doing the interpretations in the park. The guide can do, the interpreter can wear the app, and their group can wear the headset to hear what's happening. So you haven't got big groups. Somewhere like in a cave where there's a lot of noise, you can reduce the amount of noise that that particular group's making. Or you can use it in night walks on trails where you don't want to scare off the wildlife and keep the noise to the minimum, so the guide can share it through a transmitter. But just be aware that not everyone likes wearing the headsets in the jungle, and particularly your guides might not be that keen on it either. So we're also going to look at My Tours, and that we've got some, that's one that you present on your phone. You download the app, and you can work on that. There's some we've got here today. We've got some virtual reality, which is the headsets. And that's what the West Australian Park System have been working with. The benefits of these is you can use them to promote your parks externally at expos and before people travel. And it's all transferable to websites and YouTube so people can see things before they get there. Google Street View, we've got Nazli who's going to talk about that. And I'm also going to show you a bit about the laser scanning that's happening. So that's the Orpheus. Now this one, we'll try again. So the sound's not going to... Well, we don't really need sound with probably this one quite as much. Yeah. So you download the app from the website, which is on here. You put your phone into these ones. This one, what he's using is a little bit different. These are moving so fast, soon you'll be able to have this virtual reality on your phones, and I think Nazli's going to talk a little bit about that as well. So if you want to do it today, you put your phone in here, download the app, you'll see the little ring that you click on where he's showing it. It circles. When it's circled, it's downloaded. It can go in, you can look at virtual reality of the site, you can hear text, you can hear interv or audio, and you can also look at some information that comes up. So there's you go back, wait for that ring to download, go out, go into a different site, and you can basically travel around Western Australia in virtual reality. Okay, let's get out of that one. Oh, I put my tool down.
Okay, let's go back to the presentation.
Thank you. Jumping all over the place. Okay, and the My Tours, this is a New Zealand-based company. Look, there's so many out there, but this is one you can work on your computer at home. For park managers, it can be quite beneficial because you're not always out in the field, so this gives people the option to download these onto their phones, and as they're travelling around the park, they get to look at what's happening out there and understand the values of the area. So using this one, you'd plot your stops in the map, and we can do that today. I've got access through my email that everyone can use. You can upload the images and create the stops as people are travelling.